Well, Shabbat Shalom. It's good to see everybody. I'm glad you're here with me this evening. Come on in. We're an intimate group, but we'll raise our voices together. Those of you at home, sing extra loud so we can hear you. And we'll welcome in Shabbat together. As soon as the slide goes. There we go. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Zeitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai Lai Lai, Yai Lai Lai Lai, Yai Lai Lai, Yai Lai Lai Lai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We've welcomed in Shabbat angels into our midst, and I'd like to welcome up Nancy and Maggie to light our Shabbat candles this evening. I was trying to see if it would burn off. There we go.
As the Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu
I know, I was going to say, there's not so many people here. You could probably get everybody in.
Letzur yishenu, lechu neranena, ladonai naria. Letzur yishenu, nekad bafanav, betoda, bizmirot naria lo, nekad bafanav, betoda, bizmirot naria lo, lechu neranena, ladonai naria. Letzur yishenu, lechu neranena, ladonai naria. Letzur yishenu, nekad mafanav, betoda, bizmirot naria lo, nekad mafanav, betoda, bizmirot naria lo, lechu neranena, ladonai naria. Letzur yishenu, lechu neranena, ladonai naria. Letzur yishenu. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
This Lechato D melody is a little bit new for our congregation, but I love it because it's very easy to catch on to. And we'll be using it again next week for Ruach Shabbat. So learn it a little bit tonight, come back next week, and you'll know it.
Lechato di likrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Lechato di likrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmiya יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה, בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה ואמרו amen. I invite you to please rise if you are able for Baruch Hu. Please be seated. We'll continue together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla. Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Join together. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel and all the world. Another newish melody for Ahavat Olam that you might also hear again next week. אותנו לימדת. אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די די די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די די די, יאי די די די. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Inspired, I think. Breathe in a little bit of that feeling of love, of oneness. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Avad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם בארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We'll continue responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace.
Ya ba ba bim bidi bum, ya ba ba bim bum, ya ba bim bidi bum, ya ba bim bum, ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bum, ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bum, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, ma'alechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zeli anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, ya ba bim bidi bum, ya ba bim bum, ya ba bim bidi bum, ya ba bim bum, ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bum, ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bum. V'nemar ki fad Adonai et Yaakov, uge'alo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim, lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim, lechaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim, lechaim. May you shelter us with peace until the morning comes. May you lay us down with love, and may you raise us up. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We'll continue now with our Amidah, our standing prayer, and so I invite you to please rise if you are able. And just a heads up, when we get to Gevurot, we've had Passover come and go already, so we've made the switch from Geshem to Tal, so that line in Gevurot will be different than what we've been used to. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avoteinu, ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Chastei Avot ve'Imahot, u'mevi ge'ula livnei v'neihem, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים
Hashem emunato lishenei afar. Mi chamocha bar gevurot umido melach. Melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'emanata lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai b'chayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. I should explain probably our switch from Geshem to Tal is the switch from our prayer for rain to the prayer for dew. So we've had quite a lot of rain, and I guess it was on schedule with Passover, because that's when we make the switch. So we could always use more, but we'll take the dew for now. We'll continue responsively. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. We read together. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael v'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael ve'et ha'olam. Shalom. Just a few short words of Torah for us this evening.
And because we have this wonderful technology, I'm going to do something a little bit unorthodox. And I have a guest preacher here to fill us in a little bit on this week's Torah portion. You may recognize him.
My friends, let me quote from Leviticus 10. Do not drink wine or strong drink, thou, nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations. My friends, the Lord said this to Aaron after the passing away of his beloved sons, Nadab and Abihu. It's rather warm in here. Radar, would you open one of the stained glass windows?
So that was, of course, Father Francis Mulcahy of the MASH 4077, if you have ever watched MASH. And I couldn't resist using that one because whenever we get to this Torah portion this week, this is what I think of. So we are in Leviticus 10, as he says, or later on I think he says Leviticus the 10th. He's giving a sermon to the camp which has just gone dry, and he's a little bit nervous, so he himself has a little tipple before he gives his sermon. So that's what's going on there. But he gave us a nice introduction. We're in Leviticus, so we're still dealing with, there we go. So it's not so distracting. We're dealing with lots of sacrifices. So Moses and Aaron are learning how to go into the tabernacle, how to properly make a sacrifice. And this story here of Nadav and Avihu, of Aaron's sons, kind of comes up suddenly. It's a short part of this text, but it's a little bizarre and actually somewhat disturbing, as you heard. The text says that Nadav and Avihu came to the tabernacle and offered strange fire, or alien fire, which subsequently consumed them, and they died. So, like I said, a little bit bizarre and a little bit disturbing. And then a few verses later comes this part that Father Mulcahy is preaching about in terms of sobriety, which the text maybe suggests to us that Nadav and Avihu may have been intoxicated. That's one way of understanding this text. I actually like to look at the line right afterwards. Ulehavdil bein hakodesh uvein hachol uvein hatameh uvein hatahor. And you'll distinguish between the holy and the profane, or the ordinary, between the pure and the impure. So that first part of that we're actually familiar with from the Havdalah ceremony, bein kodesh lechol. So to me this says, sure, maybe they were intoxicated in this moment and they had trouble distinguishing between these things, between the holy and the ordinary, between the pure and the impure. But I don't think that anyone necessarily needs to have the influence of any sort of substance to be in that state of mind. Especially today, how often do we go about our lives not really thinking as much about what we're doing, without as much intention, not really paying attention to what's around us or who's around us or what we could take in that could be holy or that could be pure. We're in this sort of go, go, go society. So I do really love that this line ties in with Shabbat and with Havdalah, distinguishing Shabbat between the rest of the week, that sense of holiness. And I think it really affords us an opportunity in a life of constant moving to really slow down and experience Shabbat, experience the world around us and life with some intentionality, and hopefully carry that over throughout the week. So I'm actually going to invoke the words of one more on-screen personality, because I think it works this week. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Of course, that was Ferris Bueller. But I think they are wise words, and we have this opportunity to slow down, to stop this Shabbat, to consider what we could do in our lives with a little bit more thought and intention so that we don't miss those holy moments. So I invite us to take a moment now of our own silent reflection to center ourselves as we head into Shabbat. We're mindful now of those in our lives who are in need of healing, whether it's mind, body, or spirit. We're thinking in particular this evening of Janet Argovich, Sally Armendries, Hannah Bat Miriam, Bobby Barco, Bob Bell, Robert Berg, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Sandy Beinstock, Pauline Brownstein, Carol Brindell, Rich Burns, Ina Bruns, Melissa Champer, Chu Chi, Talia Sorowski, Deanna Courtwright, Laura Danoff Robinson, David and Midori Dierig, Henry Hansen, Jenna Fishoff Hyman, Carolyn Franklin, Holly Fugit, Marilyn Fuller, Roberta Gabriel, Josie Garcia, Marcia Gieser, Charlene Griffin, Jack Haff, Olivia Hand, Linda Harris, Dr. Gary Height, Jennifer Johnson, Mimi Jones, Arlene German, Sylvia Karp, Evelyn Katz McCosker, Mark and Patricia Kusanovich, Shirley Lerner, Carol Lesage, Bobby Lotman, Emmett Lowry, Austin Lucero, Janice Lucero, Gerald Maddox, Missy Marsh, Stephen Mauseri, Rich McCarthy, Maria McClure, Neil McElwee, Rich Meador, Beverly Meador, Patricia Munoz, Gunther Myberg, Lawrence Neal, Barbara Wanamaker Neiman, Glenn Overstreet, Gilbert Palazzo, Gabrielle Pollock, Alice Ponce, Heidi Preston, Sherry Prezant, Tad Prezant, Stephanie Rasmussen, Linda Rogers, Julius Rodriguez, Eva Rose, Devon Ross, Patricia A. Rosie, Anthony Sains, Daryl Sanchez, Laura Sanders, Glenn Sanders, Victoria Schneider, Nina Shapiro, Shirley Silverman, Jerry Sowers, Kathleen Spencer-Jones, Jonathan Stern, Donna Thyman, Gina Thrower, Kara Thayer, Steve Umecki, Jean Watson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Eleanor Williams, Sue Winton, Brenda Weinstock, David Weiner, Sherman Wong, Yaakov Ben Ada, and Brandon Yarkin. And I invite anyone else here who is thinking of somebody who is in need of healing to offer their name aloud or in your heart this evening.
Yishbeirach Avotenu, Avraham, Sarah, Uvneihem, Uyivarech v'yirapeh et kol hacholim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yimalei rachamim aleihem, vayishlach lachem refuah shelema. Refuat hanefesh urefuat haguf, betoch sha'ar cholei Yisrael. Hashtaba gala uvizman kariv, v'nomar Amen. V'nomar Amen.
It's my pleasure to invite up Brandon Frederick, who is going to give us some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. As Cantor said, my name is Brandon Frederick. I'm pleased to welcome you to our Erev Shabbat service led by Cantor Schaffertz. There's a parentheses, Rabbi is actually not here, in case you hadn't noticed. After the service tonight, please join us for Kiddush, Hamotzi, and Oneg in the Temple House. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by Temple Emanu-El. We hope you have had a meaningful Passover. Tomorrow morning, our 5th grade Shabbaton will take place starting 10 a.m., 9 a.m. On Monday, April 17th, we will be hosting the Silicon Valley Yom HaShoah commemoration at 7 p.m. In addition to an inspiring service and panel of speakers, we'd love to have survivor descendants of any generation come participate in the candle lighting as a way of passing on the remembrance torch. We hope to see you all there for this important gathering. This year, we are pleased to be hosting the Chaim exhibit. It's here through April 30th, anytime the shul is open. So though you are welcome to see it before or after the commemoration, it will be a more tranquil experience at other times. I believe that's in the foyer, Temple House foyer. Please invite folks who may need to learn more about the Holocaust and its ramifications to come visit. On Tuesday at noon, join Rabbi for his weekly chat on Zoom. Also on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m., join Louis for the Israeli dance in the Temple House. On Thursday is our Newish and Jewish group. They meet on Zoom at 7 p.m. And looking ahead, next Saturday, join the Green Team for an Earth Day trail cleanup at Guadalupe River Park. They're meeting at 9 a.m. Also, mark your calendar for Remember and Celebrate Israel's 75th year of independence at the Levy campus on Tuesday, April 25th, starting with a meaningful Yom HaZikaron service and Havdalah at 4:30, and culminating with Rock Atzmaut concert at 6:30 p.m. Our next Jewish nonfiction book club read is The 6 Days of War by Michael Oren, which is going to be discussed on May 7th. And if you're a baseball fan, tickets are on sale for our annual preschool fundraiser at the San Jose Giants game, June 17th. Rabbi Magat is throwing the first pitch. It said throwing. I know it meant throwing. And Cantor is going to lead us and take me out to the ball game, so don't miss. I think we've bought our tickets already, so they're on sale. I know for sure. We hope to see you all next Friday for a very special Ruach Shabbat service at our 7 p.m. starting at 7 p.m., during which we will also be recognizing and appreciating members who have been a part of the Temple Emanu-El family for decades. A lovely oneg to follow. Shabbat Shalom.
I think it's Jewish Silicon Valley in Los Gatos. I think that's where that is taking place. Yeah. And we'll have a fun service next week for a Ruach reunion Shabbat. It'll be an interesting mix of some of the newer melodies that we did tonight that you've been hearing with the band, with some throwback readings from Gates of Prayer and the Union Prayer Book. So it'll be an interesting mix and match of the many, many years we've been worshiping at Temple Emanu-El. I hope you'll join us next week. And as you can see, we are set up for Yom HaShoah. I will stay here for Aleinu, but I invite you to please rise and join with me.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tet gedula liotzer breshit, shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We remember now on this Shabbat those who are no longer with us, but that we miss dearly, whether we've lost them in recent days or weeks or at this time in years past. And it's our custom upon hearing the name of a loved one to please rise. We are in the first week of mourning for Bradley Parkins, brother of Megan Hendrickson. We're in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Marianne Mates, Sherman Zell, and Wells Wagner. We're in the first year of mourning for Evan Aronoff, Dr. Ed Kahn, Dr. Mike Kahn, Julian Cannell, Robert DeNike, Mervyn Durlester, Betty Fargo, Nessia Fistrom, Harold Fletcher, Curtis Given, Fritz Gottfeld, Jacqueline Hall, James Hayward, Gail Jacobs, Walter Jacobs, Steve Koss, Sylvia Lazarus, Rita Lauren, Emmanuel Marquis, Rochelle Marquis, Joyce Mendel, Harvey Offenhartz, Janice Palmer, Thomas Parkins, Herman W. Poland, Ruth Rosenberg, Lawrence Ross, Mitzi Sapper, Randall Shev, Judy Siegel, Norman Siegler, Dr. William Silen, Joan Singer, and Howard Sutkin. And we observe the yahrzeits this evening of Morris Actor, Milton Adler, Selma Benson, Geraldine Citron Berman, Eldon Chernus, Alvin Clark, Norma Cohn, Rosie Decker, Gail Dors, Esther Everett, Deborah Ferguson, Benjamin Gold, Yetta Goldstein, Harry M. Goldstein, Simone Goldstein, Edward Green, Jacob Herscher, Hannah Hoffman, Ralph Jacobson, Martha Kahn, Kevin Krieger, Jerry Crystal, Dr. Louis Leiter, Dr. Felix Lenneman, Halcyon Lieberman, Leo Lieberman, Abe Lietoff, Rose Lietoff, Viola Leventhal, Maurice Malin, Susie McRoberts, Rose Leifer Merrilman, George Miller, Mickey Perez, Albert Pollock, Beatrice Rosenblum, Charles Rubin, Heinrich Schachter, Merrill Toba Siegel-Katz, Milton Schuster, Harry Stivelman, Yetta Stivelman, Stephanie Suker, Sydney Schwartz, Doris Douglas Vincent, David Wallach, Ben Weiss, Ken Weiss. We rise together as one congregation as we surround those who are in mourning or missing their loved ones, and we join together in Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirute ve'amlich malchute, B'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal, shemei dekudsha brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma ve'imru, Amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved as we say once more together, Amen. Please be seated.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, ve'imru, Amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
Wishing you a Shabbat of shalom, of peace and shalom, of wholeness and some intentionality in whatever you do. I will see you in the Oneg. We'll do Kiddush and Motzi. Shabbat Shalom.